know what I think you, hero? I think you're a half measure. I think you're a man who can't finish the job. I think that you're a coward. You know the one thing that you just can't see? You know you're one bad day away from being me.
Fans of the show Daredevil will be hunkering down tonight for a binge fest as season 2 premieres on Netflix. The superhero saga tells the origin story of Matt Murdock, an attorney who fights crime both in the courtroom and on the dirty streets of New York. Deborah Ann Woll plays Karen Page, and she joins us now from our downtown studio. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, it's a real pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
So what can we expect from the second season that is new from the first?
Well, we like to talk a lot about how last year there was a very clearly defined villain, that like Wilson Fisk, even though he had his reasons, he was clearly the bad guy. And that was very easy for Matt to determine that I can come after this guy with all of my force. But in Frank Castle, as you saw, he's an anti-hero. He has these altruistic goals, even though he does things that we can't condone. So it plays in more of a gray area.
And Frank Castle, of course, is the alter ego of the Punisher. And
Yes.
there are a lot of people that really love the Punisher. So do you think that's going to increase the popularity now?
Oh, I mean, I think already we've seen it. I mean, we showed like the back of his head at Comic-Con, and I couldn't hear because of the screaming. So people are excited.
That's great. Now, speaking of not knowing who's a good character and who's a bad character, your character, Karen Page, there were hints that maybe you have murdered and that this may not be your first murder. So can you tell us how your character is evolving in the storyline here?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a mysterious dark past for Karen that we're going to sort of slowly tease the details out. But I think, again, with the arrival of Frank Castle, he's saying just beating up the guys and putting them in prison doesn't work because they get out. It's a corrupt system. So he murders them to keep them down. And Karen Page, in a way, to save herself last year at the end of the season, had to do the same thing. So if the world thinks that Frank Castle is a monster, then Karen must be a monster. So she's got her own identity sort of wrapped up in this political idea.
Now, when you join on to a series like this, all those twists and turns are still ahead of you. Do you change the way you prepare for your character? Does your understanding of the character just go along with the story? Or do you sort of brace yourself at the beginning for all the possible twists and turns?
You brace yourself, and in some, sometimes you'll get to sit down with the showrunners and they'll walk you through sort of the general storyline. I always knew that Karen had a mysterious past, and I very early spoke with them and said, I need to have some idea of what that is so that when things are brought up, I know which nerves it touches. But yeah, you just try to stay in the moment and go with it and accept that anything is possible.
Well, Deborah Ann Woll, good luck. Congratulations on the second season, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much.